You're in a meeting. Your boss proposes a plan, and you see a major flaw, a problem that could cost the company time and money. Your heart starts beating faster. You want to speak up, but a voice in your head stops you. What if I sound rude? What if they think I'm being disrespectful, especially in English? For ambitious, non-native English-speaking professionals, this is one of the most stressful situations you can face. In many cultures, directly disagreeing with a superior is career suicide. But in many Western corporate environments, staying silent when you have a valuable insight is also a career-limiting move. They don't want silence. They want solutions. The problem isn't that you disagree. The problem is not having a clear, safe, and professional framework to do it. And that is exactly what I am going to give you in this video. We are going to use a simple, powerful, three-step method I call the A.B.S. framework. Acknowledge, bridge, and suggest. By the end of this lesson, you will have the exact phrases and the confidence to turn a moment of potential conflict into a moment of professional respect. Let's begin. Step 1 is to acknowledge. You must never start with "but" or "you're wrong." Your first words must show that you listened to and respected their idea. The goal is to validate their perspective before you introduce your own. Here are 3 levels of phrases you can use. For a simple, direct approach, you can say, "That's a fair point," or "I understand your reasoning." For a more collaborative tone, you could use, "I see where you're coming from, and I appreciate that perspective." And for an advanced, very respectful approach, "That's a really interesting solution." The logic behind focusing on "mention their idea" is very clear. By starting this way, you are no longer an opponent. You are a collaborator. Step 2 is the bridge. Now that you have acknowledged their point, you need a phrase that creates a smooth, respectful pivot from their idea to yours. This is the transition that avoids the feeling of a direct confrontation. Here are your bridge phrases. A simple bridge could be, "My only concern is that," or "From my perspective, it looks a little different." A more collaborative bridge sounds like, "That definitely solves one part of the problem. Have we also considered the impact on?" And an advanced bridge, which frames you as a team player. Building on that excellent point, what if we also looked at it from this angle? This phrase is brilliant because it makes it feel like your idea was inspired by theirs. And finally, step 3, suggest. The key here is to present your idea as a question or a collaborative suggestion, not a demand or a direct order. This invites discussion rather than creating a battle. Here are your suggestion phrases. A simple suggestion, "What if we tried?" or "Could we perhaps explore?" A more detailed suggestion, an alternative approach might be to explain your idea, because it could help us avoid, mention a potential problem. And an advanced suggestion that shows humility and invites teamwork. I could be wrong here, but I have a feeling that if we explain your idea, we might see a better result with mention a benefit. What are your thoughts on that? This final question, "What are your thoughts on that?" is incredibly powerful. It gives the power back to your boss and makes the final decision a team effort. Now let's put it all together. Imagine your boss says, "We need to cut our marketing budget by 50% to save money." The wrong way to respond sounds like this, "But that's a bad idea. We won't get any new customers." This is blunt, negative, and creates conflict. Now let's use the A.B.S. framework. The right way sounds like this. I understand the need to be more budget conscious, and saving money is a top priority. That's the acknowledge. Building on that point, my only concern with a 50% cut is that it might impact our long-term customer growth. That's the bridge. I could be wrong, but what if we explored a more targeted 20% cut on underperforming campaigns and reinvested a small portion into our most profitable ads? That way, we could still save money while protecting our growth engine. What are your thoughts on that? And that is the suggestion. See the difference? One is a fight, the other is a professional problem-solving conversation. And finally, an advanced tip. The level of directness can vary. In a typical American company, you can be slightly more direct with your suggestion. In a British or Japanese corporate culture, using even softer, more indirect language is often a better strategy. Always be aware of your environment. This nuance is the final key to mastery. So the next time you are in that difficult situation, remember the framework. 1. Acknowledge. 2. Bridge. And 3. Suggest. This is how you transform from a simple employee into a respected, strategic partner. If this framework was valuable to you, subscribe to Ascend English for more practical strategies to master the language of leadership. In our next video, we will deconstruct the perfect formula for answering the most important interview question of all, which is, tell me about yourself. Thank you for investing in yourself. Let's ascend together.